steel wins wars. But long before steel factories, supply chains, and World War II logistics, Native Americans were already building homes that handled heat, cold, wind, rain, and time itself, without metal, without concrete, without power tools. And here's the wild part. Many of those structures were more climate smart than what modern armies were throwing up during World War II field operations. This isn't folklore. This is engineering discipline born from survival. Let's get straight into it. Native American homes didn't fight nature. They partnered with it. That's the first lesson modern builders and even wartime engineers often ignore. Instead of importing materials, structures were built almost entirely from what was already underfoot: earth, wood, bark, grass, animal hides. No excess, no waste. Every material had a job. During World War II, armies learned the hard way that hauling materials across terrain drained resources fast. Native builders solved that problem centuries earlier. Homes were designed around local conditions, not universal blueprints. Hot regions got airflow-first designs. Cold regions prioritized insulation and heat retention. This wasn't guesswork. It was tested knowledge passed down over generations. Earth was one of the most powerful building materials ever used. And honestly, it still is today. Packed soil walls provided natural insulation. Thick earthen layers kept interiors cool during the day and warm at night. That thermal mass effect is actually the same principle modern military bunkers relied on during World War II to protect troops from temperature swings and blast shock. But, shape mattered just as much as material. Rounded structures weren't just aesthetic. Curved walls distribute stress evenly. Wind slides around them instead of slamming into flat surfaces. Snow doesn't pile up as easily. During World War II, engineers rediscovered this principle when designing domed shelters and reinforced bunkers. Native builders were already there centuries ahead. Here's where people get it wrong. No metal does not mean fragile. Native American builders mastered joinery techniques that locked wood together using pressure, tension, and geometry. Poles were bent, tied, slotted, and interwoven. Rawhide lashings shrank as they dried, tightening joints instead of loosening them. Think about this. During World War II, armies struggled with wood rot, metal fatigue, and corrosion in temporary structures. Native homes avoided those problems by using flexible connections. When the ground shifted, the structure moved with it. That flexibility prevented catastrophic failure. Rigid buildings crack, flexible ones survive. Modern insulation came late. Native Americans had it figured out early. Grass, reeds, moss, bark, and animal hides were layered with intention. Each layer trapped air. Air is the real insulator. This layering system worked the same way modern cold-weather military gear did during World War II, multiple thin layers outperforming one thick one. Roofs were especially smart. Sloped to shed rain, layered to block heat loss. Ventilation openings controlled smoke and airflow. No fans, no chimneys. Just physics and experience doing the heavy lifting. Open fire inside a home sounds dangerous until you understand the design. Central fire pits weren't random. Smoke holes were precisely placed. Heat rose and exited while warmth stayed low where people lived. This reduced carbon buildup and preserved oxygen. World War II forced armies to rethink indoor fire use in cold theaters. Poor ventilation killed soldiers faster than enemy fire in some conditions. Native builders had already solved that equation. Controlled airflow was survival, not comfort. Another overlooked advantage: many Native American homes were modular. They could be taken down, moved, and rebuilt quickly. That mattered during seasonal movement, resource shifts, or conflict. During World War II, rapid deployment structures became essential. Tents, prefab huts, mobile shelters, these were all crucial. But, native builders had been perfecting portable architecture for generations. Lightweight frames, replaceable coverings, and minimal tools required. The idea was speed, but without sacrificing durability. Modern buildings, well, they fail when maintenance stops. Native homes, on the other hand, expected upkeep and made it easy. Materials were replaceable, walls could be repacked, and roof layers refreshed. Nothing was permanent, and that was the point. World War II military engineers learned this lesson painfully. Structures that couldn't be repaired in the field became liabilities. Native homes, though, were designed for constant interaction. The home wasn't a finished product. It was a living system. This isn't nostalgia, this is applied intelligence. Native American home construction proves that durability doesn't require metal, electricity, or industrial supply chains. It requires understanding forces, heat, wind, water, load, movement. During World War II, the most successful engineering solutions weren't always the most complex. They were the most practical. Native builders lived that reality long before global conflict forced modern nations to relearn it. And that's the real takeaway for Zero-Hour World War II viewers. Human survival isn't driven by technology alone. It's driven by adaptability, restraint, and respect for physics. If you found value in this breakdown, don't keep it to yourself. Hit subscribe. Share this with someone who thinks history is just dates and battles, because the real lessons of survival were built quietly, long before the first tank ever rolled.